welcome to Cohen in the City, Suburban On Air, and really happy to have with me today world famous mentalist, proud Laval resident, Spidey. Spidey is with us, and there's a reason why he's with us. Barbara Zabalkoff will explain that. Barbara is the chair of the ITC committee, at the Cummings Center. It's the In the City committee, and they're going to be presenting an online performance by Spidey on February 17th at 7:30 p.m. So bring in Barbara first of all, and Spidey. Barbara, why don't you tell us about your committee and how you decided to book Spidey?
Thank you. Our committee in the city prepares events for our 50 plus seniors that are a little bit off the beaten track and for most of the time out of the Cummings Center. Some of our productions are bigger productions that we usually host at the Federation building, but this year it is going to be online. And we read about Spidey online, we saw YouTube videos, and we read all of the reviews that various people from different shows came out with, and it looked like it would be an amazing adventure. I think all of us who have been doing everything online need something that isn't necessarily a lecture or a movie. So we are delighted to have something different, and we welcome Spidey.
Well, I saw Oz Perlman perform a few times in person, and I was with him online on Zoom a few months ago when he did a charity event. Of course, he's a mentalist. I don't know if Spidey, you ever met Oz Perlman?
He's one of my best friends. I actually watched his show last night.
Okay, that's so terrific. So and it really worked. Like, it was on Zoom, and it was unbelievable how he connected with the audience. So this really works. So Spidey, I just want to ask you, first of all, of course, like many people, I first saw you when I would go with my family to Cinema Guzzo, and before the movie started, they'd have these previews, and then Spidey was doing magic tricks recorded. He did that for a couple of years. That was a great start for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll always be very, very thankful of what the Guzos did for me. Like at the time, I had started my career. Like I think I was good. I don't think I was great, and they took a chance with me because it's for them, their business like can suffer if I suck, or if like I don't come through. They're putting me on every screen before every movie, and that was a big risk for them. So I will always be thankful, because that taught me so much about managing audiences, managing cameras, and being seen on such a big platform. So I'll always be thankful for that experience.
And now, of course, during the pandemic, you're getting acquainted to doing these programs on Zoom, and it seems to be quite successful. Obviously, you'd prefer to go the natural route, but you're making a go of it.
I gotta say, it's like when you said it, obviously I prefer to go the natural route. At first, that's what it was. At first, I was like, oh my God, I can't stand this. I can't wait to be in front of people live again. But I must say, with practice and time, we've been able to bring the virtual shows to almost a similar experience as live, because the more we're understanding the platforms and the cameras, I'm honestly at a place where I really feel like the experience you get in a virtual show is so similar. Plus, you're in the comfort of your own home, and a lot of people feel more comfortable reacting, and just sort of on stage you're nervous. You go to a theater, you're nervous on stage, but they're at home, so I get more of the real them, and it helps me.
Well, Barbara, I think that's a great sales pitch, and I'm sure that that's how you're going to reel in the audience.
Well, we're very excited because this show is especially done just for us, and we have the opportunity to pick people from the audience who are actually going to be participating in the real show, which I think is an unbelievable thing.
Yeah, and it works. As I said, I saw it with Oz Perlman a few months ago. It was remarkable. Spidey, I guess the natural question is, how did you first become a magician and a mentalist? How did that happen?
The history is a little weird for my interest in magic, because like if you go back to my very young childhood, there were definitely moments of interest in magic where there was this thing called Magic Works. It was these little kits that each one had this like really cool trick, and they would advertise them on YTV, and my mom would buy me, every time they released a new one. But at the time, I wasn't so passionate about the performance. It was more about knowing the secret, because I couldn't stand not knowing. So I would buy the trick, I would learn it, I would do it a couple of times, and when family came over, I would do it. But there wasn't like this obsession. The obsession happened when I was a teenager, where I was in Vegas with my dad, and there was this store that was selling tricks, and they were doing demos, and I was taken in by it, and I bought a couple of things. And that time it really, really like just pulled me right in, and I got into it. And there's a great magic shop on Van Horn in Montreal called Perfect Magic. It's run by the Matlins, an amazing couple, older Jewish couple.
Yes, I know them. In fact, Mrs. Matlin passed away a few months ago, unfortunately. Yes, but Phil is a constituent of mine and a great guy. Yeah, very, very sad. What super couple. So I'm sorry to break the news to you as we do this interview. I guess you were close with them.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm sorry to break the news to you on a recording.
It's okay. I'm so sorry.
They are special people, and it's very inspiring to hear that they had that kind of an impact on you.
They were the nicest, man. I'm so sorry, Mike.
Well, I'm going to share this video. I'm going to make sure Phil sees this video, because Phil is still going strong, and I know he'll appreciate your sentiments and your thoughts.
Jeez, I had no idea. I'm shattered.
Yeah,
I didn't know. They were so kind to me, Mike. In the beginning, I went to them. I knew nothing. I was nothing. I was no one, and I went to them.
Wow. Well, I've heard a lot of stories. I've heard a lot of stories about their, what they've done for people, but really interesting to hear it from you. Now,
Mike, like I said, I didn't know anything. I was no one. I was nothing. I was a kid who knew a couple of tricks, and I went to their store and I said, I want to know so much more. And I said, can I offer my time to work here? I'll help you shelve things. I don't care. And they would let me come in and spend hours at the store reading the books and watching the videos. And Evelyn like mentored me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very, very, very special people, and I know that I'll make sure that Phil gets your thoughts. Spidey, so how did you become a mentalist? You a magician to go to a mentalist, two different things.
Yeah, so from my passion in magic, it evolved into because I was studying psychology at Concordia at the time, and I've always been fascinated by the mind and how people think, and my interest just sort of naturally evolved more towards that style of performance and more about reading people's thoughts.
And so let me move to TV. You've become a big star. Tell me about being on the CW network and Netflix.
Yeah, it's crazy because we were talking about Guzzo earlier, and that kind of launched my confidence on the big screen. And the next thing I knew, I was getting calls from the US to do some big TV shows. And it all started with the Sci-Fi Network, a show called Wizard Wars with Penn and Teller, where I got to perform for Penn and Teller, and that went super well. And then from there, I got so many more opportunities, big shows like Penn and Teller Fool Us and Showtime at the Apollo with Steve Harvey. And then, a couple of years ago, I joined the cast of the Masters of Illusion on the CW, where I'm seen on multiple episodes doing my thing on stage. And then eventually that led to a part on a Netflix series called Brainchild, where we teach kids and teenagers all about the world around them. And I'm like the psychology guy who explains things like memories and critical thinking and motivation through hypnosis. So that was a blast. Like, to actually be on the biggest platform in the world, which is Netflix, was incredible.
Very exciting. Now, Barbara, as we get more excited about this show, how do people get tickets?
If they want tickets, they have to call the Cumming Center. The number is 514-343-3510, or log on to the website, which is www.cummingcenter.org.
Or go to Facebook, where you see your ads all over the place. You've done a great job publicizing this. That's how I found out about this.
Okay.
So, Spidey, one more question, and then you're going to do a trick for us.
Sure.
Where did you get the name Spidey? Because we know your real name is Bedros.
Yeah, nice, cool. Thanks for. That's like it's like Lord Voldemort. It's the name we don't speak, but that's amazing that you did the research on that. It's actually, it's great that this interview is for a Montreal based media resource, because the name comes from when I worked in TMR day camp in the heart of Montreal, and all the counselors had to have, fun names for the kids, and mine was Spidey. And I don't even know how, like, it was just sort of like a fun, cute name that we came up with at the time. And my first shows were for the kids of the camp, and the business cards I printed said Spidey, and I was just never able to get rid of the name.
Wow. So, Spidey, you're going to finish us off with some sort of trick? What do you have in mind?
I am. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to do something. But before we do this, like, we've said that Barbara and I are working close together, but I want your viewers to know, Barbara, there's nothing set up. I haven't asked you to say anything, think of anything. And Mike, with you as well, there's nothing ahead of time that we've set up. You have no idea what's about to happen.
No Scout's honor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to try this. I don't know if you guys play cards. I know during quarantine, a lot of people do a lot of things at home, like board games and cards. So this is actually quite perfect. And every deck of cards has 52 cards and 2 jokers. We're not going to use both jokers. We're only going to use one of them, this one. I'm going to leave that joker right here on my table. Now, the rest of the deck, I will shuffle up. That way, I can't know where any of the cards are, and nobody can know where any of the cards are. You guys are going to narrow down 52 cards all the way down to 1 card. It's going to be entirely your call. So, Mike, we'll start with you. In a deck of cards, there are red cards and black cards. What do you want? A red card or a black card? Your call.
A red card.
Red card. Barbara, in the red cards, there are hearts and diamonds. I will follow exactly what you say. Do you want a heart or a diamond, Barbara?
A diamond.
Diamond, a girl's best friend. Mike, amongst the diamonds, like every other suit, there are number cards and there are court cards. Everything from ace to 10, then the jack, the queen, and the king. Mike, I want you to imagine all those numbers in front of you, and you reach over and you grab one of those cards. It's a diamond. Which diamond is it?
The king.
The king of diamonds. Mike, before we go on, I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to change your mind? Do you want to put the king back and grab a 2? Do you want to skip the diamonds and go to the clubs? Totally your call, Mike. Are we changing it, or are we sticking to the king of diamonds?
I think I'll stick with the king.
You'll stick with the king. Now, here's what's going to happen. I told you guys I was going to do this with a joker, correct? I did say that before we started.
Yes.
Here's how we're going to do this. Barbara, I'm going to lay the cards across the table. I'm going to move the joker down the deck. Barbara, I want you to say the word stop when you like. I believe that through this screen, Barbara, you can intuitively guess exactly where that king of diamonds is and place the joker directly above it. I totally believe in you. Here we go. As I move that joker, Barbara, you're going to say stop when you want.
Stop.
Now, you said stop right above this card. Mike, I'm going to give you total control here. Do you want to keep going? Do you want to move back a little, or do you want to go exactly where Barbara said?
I have a good feeling with Barbara, so let's stay where we are.
So I want you guys to make sure this is as fair as it gets. That's exactly where Barbara said stop, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want you to see, Barbara, you said stop fairly quickly, but you could have said stop even before that and placed it anywhere amongst those. You also could have kept going, and there was a whole lot of cards there, but Barbara, you said stop right here. Now I want all the viewers to pay attention. That's exactly where the joker went. No switches, no funny business. Barbara, is that the exact card that you said stop above?
It is.
It is. Guys, think about this. I know we see a lot of weird stuff on TV. We see a lot of weird stuff when we go to these shows, but this is right here in camera. I can't cheat. Everyone's watching me so closely. You guys narrowed down a deck to the king of diamonds. You said stop right there. This is insane. My heart is beating. I think if this is correct, everyone watching has to go get tickets to the show. I don't even know if this is correct. Here we go. Moment of truth. Oof, nailed it.
Oh my God.
Oh boy. You are something.
Hold on. That's pretty cool. The fact that you guys narrowed it down to 1 card and then you yourselves found that card, I think is very cool. But it's not the coolest thing you did. You see, my show isn't a show about coincidence. It's a show about mind reading. And you guys right now were able to read my mind right through the screen. I can prove it. You see, you guys could have named any card in the whole deck. But if you had named anything other than the king of diamonds, this whole thing wouldn't have worked. Because you see, this card is blank. There's nothing on it. And that one's blank as well. And this one and that one. In fact, guys, every single
God.
is entirely, there's no cards.
Wow.
None. These are all blank. The only card in the whole deck is the king of diamonds, the one you named. And I will see you guys at the show.
Oh,
That is a
can't
tribute
wait.
that is a tribute to Evie Matlin, okay? We're gonna do that's my tribute trick to Evie. And Spidey, I think, Barbara, if you were excited before, you're excited now.
Absolutely.
Spidey, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Barbara. Good luck and good show.
Thank
Thank you so much.
you.